Hello, 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 hello. How are we all doing? Good morning. It's Sunday. Oh, just give me one sec. It is Monday morning. Sorry, not Sunday. How are we all doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's had a good weekend, ready to make some money in the markets. I know I've had a good weekend. I've already made some money in the markets as well. We'll just give it a couple minutes. Obviously, we're going to start off with the fundamentals, so we just go over there. Just give me one sec. Okay, so we are good. The audio is great, so we can get started. Obviously, it's a JPY bank holiday today. Doesn't really matter, but it is. Let me make this post, and then we will get started. So yeah, I hope everyone's been reviewing the journals, you know, back testing, all that stuff over the weekend, doing the admin stuff that you're supposed to be doing, other than trading, to actually progress towards your trading goals. I know I have. I didn't actually do any. I didn't actually back test for 12 hours, by the way, for anyone interested. I didn't know way on earth. That was just a joke. I did for a few hours. Obviously, I think it was like 3 wins and 1 loss, which is great. Right. Okay. Ah, yeah. Right. Let's get started. So, just let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. It's quite quiet for me. I'm not too sure how it works. I think it just picks it up from my audio. Let me know if it's too loud, all that stuff, and I will send you a DM. No problem. I'll get back to you when I can. Hey, Danish, sorry. How you doing? Right then. So, let's get started. You know, you can probably see a lot of red at the moment. We had a lot of European red folder this morning, and you know, it's basically all just flash manufacturing PMI. I'm doing backtest. I think I might. I'm not sure. You'd have to search my YouTube. Honestly, I haven't made one on Instagram or anything like that. If it's anywhere, it would be on YouTube. If I haven't, that's a good idea. I'll make one. I will make one. Yeah, I haven't. I will make a video on that. Thanks for the idea. No problem. I'll stress-free night. I will get back to you after the stream when I can. Good morning. Right, so yeah. Red folder. There was a lot of red folder this morning through 8 o'clock through to 9:30. It's basically all flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. We had it for UK, Euro, Germany, and France. They're European. I don't know why it says nothing there. But anyway, we've got more red folder in about 15 minutes, about 12 minutes actually from now. So we're going to have to just sit on our hands and like let that play out and see what happens there. Well, that's everything else really. So we can trade after like 3 o'clock. We can enter some positions once we've cooled down from this red folder. It's basically all flash manufacturing PMI today. All the red folder is, and flash services as well. That's the fundamentals. Just got to chill out for about half an hour. Which means we'll just analyze the charts. You know, we'll look at what to expect, what to anticipate. We'll set our expectations for the markets, and then we will wait and see if it meets those expectations after the New Year's. Sounds like a good plan. Monday morning in New York, Monday afternoon for me. But moving on to the charts, I've done my market outlook. I've started those. In the Discord server. If you haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. Free Discord, first link in the description. I've done my market outlook, and basically the market outlook was basically anticipating. Let me just turn the music down. It's really annoying. We anticipated a move up which was the manipulation. And I was hoping that this wouldn't be a valid move on the 1 hour time frame, but it was. So we had our accumulation. We basically consolidated for Friday evening till Monday morning, early Monday morning. Then we manipulate to the upside. Now this was also an accumulation on the 15. Obviously it's a bit smaller, but we had an accumulation on the 15 where we came to the upside, taking out this liquidity. Same on the 1 hour as well. We took out this liquidity, then we flipped. I wasn't looking to catch this move really, because there was no like fair value gap or anything like that. But I was anticipating us to come to the upside, come down to this fair value gap, which is a 4 hour fair value gap over here. If we just look at that, you can see that. I'm going to label it just for clarity for anyone else who joins. We've got 4 hour fair value gap right here, which is also, 1 hour inside of it. There's 2 1 hours inside of it. If we just draw those out as well. We don't really need to draw them out, but we can. So we have a few fair value gaps lining up here. Moving back to the daily. This might be a bit confusing, sorry. But moving back to the daily, we've got this weekly and monthly fair value gap here. We just put 1M. 1M, which is the monthly. Actually, probably M1, won't it? Oh. But, actually, yeah, it's 1M, I think. Or is it just M? We'll call it M. We don't really care. We've got a monthly, weekly, daily fair value gap right here, which we kind of respected. I was looking at a swing trade here. I'm not going to draw it all out, but we have an accumulation right here, manipulate to the upside and distribute to the downside. I took a swing trade around about here, and I got took break even the other day. I made like 2p, something like that. So we have been quite bullish recently. We need to kind of retrace. So I was anticipating that on the 4 hour, coming back to here, which aligns with the AMD. So we basically accumulated, manipulated to the upside, distributed to the downside into this 4 hour fair value gap. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, I actually took a trade here and I'll walk you through that now. So moving on to the 1 hour, inside this 4 hour fair value gap, I'm not trading gold by the way. Inside this 4 hour fair value gap, we have a 1 hour here and a 1 hour here, okay? So we kind of disrespected this 1 hour fair value gap. So taking this out of the picture, I would have been slightly bearish. I wouldn't have took any sells until we kind of made our way out of here, out of this 4 hour fair value gap. But without this 1 hour, I would have been slightly bearish. But it's there, so I wasn't slightly bearish. We came down into this 1 hour fair value gap, formed a dragonfly doji, which is a doji candle with a very long bottom wick, into that 1 hour. So we basically pushed all the way down into that distribution, came to this 1 hour fair value gap, and respected it and flipped. That's what happened. We then had a nice, not really an engulfing candlestick, so it's a very light confluence, a very light candlestick pattern. Usually if this was a bullish engulfing, it would be a lot stronger of a signal, but it's not. But it is a morning star here. So we had that candlestick pattern, and then we started pushing back up. If you just look at this black candle here, we started pushing back up. I took an entry here. I don't teach really. I think I do teach in the premium, but as the base of my strategy, I don't really teach to trade the X phase, which is the expansion or accumulation, or reversal phase. But I caught that. A few premium members will know what I'm talking about when if you compare the end of AMD, like the end of the distribution, with a volume time, then you will more than likely have this expansion or reversal phase. So I knew that we were going to get volume, which means we're not really going to consolidate because we're getting volume in the market. We haven't got volatility. We haven't got loads of news coming out. We've just got the natural volume. We've got the London Open. We've got the New York Open as well. That's the volume. Now, if that was news, if we were relying on CPI for the volume or PPI or something like that for the volume, then we would also get volatility, and in that case, then we can actually expect the consolidation. But we weren't anticipating. We didn't have any news coming out, obviously, other than the flash stuff, like in 5 minutes. But at that point in time, we didn't have any red folder news coming out, so I wasn't anticipating a consolidation because we didn't have volatility coming into the markets, but we had volume coming into the markets, which means we're probably going to get a move. Now, this can either be a continuation of distribution or a complete reversal. Right. So why wasn't it a continuation? Well, that's where I look for my confluences. That's why I look for my 4-hour fair value gap, my hourly, and liquidity, context, all that kind of thing. So with all that context going on, which I'm going to walk you through now, I took a buy position. Now, what actually aligned with that buy position? So we have liquidity on the other side of this accumulation, which we've took. It doesn't really need to be a straight line, but here we are. So we took that sell side liquidity, and anyone who knows me really will understand. I guess you could call it this. Really, I guess this would be the liquidity also. Well, there's a lot of liquidity here. That's a liquidity zone. So we took that liquidity, which means we were expecting a bullish retracement. So that's bullish confluence number 1. We were expecting a bullish retracement. Okay. Bullish confluence number 2 is that we were inside a 4-hour fair value gap and seemingly respecting it based on these candlestick patterns. Now that's kind of coincides with the next confluence, which is the candlestick pattern. So that's confluence number 3, I guess you could call it, is that we had a nice candlestick pattern. Not only that, but we also respected this 1-hour fair value gap. So we have a few confluences here. That's 3 confluences for the actual direction of the trade. Now to actually get into the trade, we obviously paired it with the volume time, expecting that volume to come into the markets to give us that nice push up. So there's like 4 really, maybe 5. You could push 6 if you wanted to. 4 strong confluences to get into this trade. So I took it without a doubt. Now that's the entry sorted. That's the entry out the way. The actual exit. Basically, I like to draw my pink lines for where I like to manage. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear up this. We don't really need that. I'm going to keep that and get rid of this. Just clean this up as well. Just to keep things a little bit cleaner. We can get rid of this as well. We don't need that liquidity, and we don't really need this draw in here. This cleans things up a little bit. So we've got the entry sorted. So what about the exit? My exit was up here, which is if you've seen the market outlook I did last night, we're basically targeting this daily liquidity around about here, and basically trying to come back to this monthly fair value gap, monthly, weekly, daily fair value gap as well. That's my ultimate take profit, so my full TP, and then obviously we're looking to manage in several locations. So there's this fair value gap here, which is a 4-hour. But that wasn't valid. That wasn't a valid 4-hour when I actually took the trade. That just came about like, I think, 42 minutes ago, when that 4-hour candle closed. But we did have a 1-hour fair value gap. If I just highlight that and move that around a little bit, you can see that there. We got a nice 1-hour fair value gap here, from here to here. Just a little bit accurate. There you go. So we have a nice 1-hour fair value gap here. Obviously we've ignored this one because of the reaction we were supposed to get. Like, I wasn't expecting us to come into this fair value gap. We were already in the fair value gap, but I wasn't expecting us to respect it based on all the other things. But I was expecting us to respect this one, because by the time we've come to this fair value gap, just thinking of it like in a logical sense, by the time we've come to that fair value gap, we've had that bullish move. We've had the bullish move, so that removes the sell side liquidity being took as a confluence. And it removes the candlestick pattern as a confluence, and it removes the fair value gaps as a confluence. It removes them because they signal a bullish move, but we've already had the bullish move. They don't signal a move all the way up to here or here or here. They signal a bullish move in general. So we've got to be careful at the very first fair value gap that we come to, other than this one. So that's why I closed half of my trade here at this pink line. Now I closed half, moved my stops to break even, and I'm just going to let it play out. I'm not going to manage, even if it looks like it's going to go down. We've got 16 minutes left on this candle. If this candle can close somewhat like this, then we will have a valid 1 hour fair value gap / BPR. Because if you look to the left hand side, there's this bearish one which we have completely disrespected. So there is, a few confluences. If you want to take your entry here, you can. Not exactly right now, but you can start looking for an entry around about here. So we have a nice little BPR. I'm going to get rid of this just to keep things a little bit cleaner, and label it BPR, just to keep things clean. So you know, we could continue up. I'm just going to let it play out no matter what happens, because I've secured just under 1%, like 0.9%, 0.99%, whatever. I've secured 1%. I'm break even, so anything else is like a little bonus. Anything else I will probably spend later. So, you know, it's all good. We're good to just let this play out. And that's the trade, I think. I think that's it. There we are. We've just had that news release now. So worse than expected, pending for services. Let's see what happens. So this fair value gap is invalid now, really. So we have to get rid of that. I suppose that gives us a little bit more structure. Or, not structure, sorry. A little bit of sustainability, I guess. BPR is a balanced price range. It's where two fair value gaps overlap. So this is nice. Looks like we're going up. It's where two fair value gaps overlap. So a BPR. It doesn't have to be completely equal. So see how this is a bearish fair value gap here, Dan? And this would have been a bullish fair value gap. Let's just say that this was a bullish fair value gap right here, yeah. See the area where these overlap? Basically just the most recent fair value gap. But see the area where these overlap? That darker grey. That's the BPR. It's a BPR because it's like a bearish fair value gap overlapping with a bullish fair value gap. So it's like technically two imbalances. And it's called a balanced price range. It's like just a fair value gap on steroids. Really. But that's what a BPR is. It doesn't have to be equal. It's just the area where two fair value gaps overlap is the BPR itself. But some people also refer to it as like just the most recent fair value gap, just for simplicity. Where to put stop loss and take profit. For this trade, if you were to get in now, there's not really much of a confluence. You need a bit of structure. Your stop loss would have to go over here, maybe below this fair value gap if you really wanted to. Take profits obviously up there. Are you trading gold today? Not really. It's a bit of a mess. So we've had our accumulation here on the 1 hour on gold, and then manipulation, distribution, expansion. So we're expecting basically an accumulation next. But you know, I've really thoroughly backtested gold. Well, it just looks really sloppy at the moment. I think it's because we're at all-time highs. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people probably getting into this that usually wouldn't be in this because we're at all-time highs. You know how brokers like to push that shit, like to get all these newbies in to be our liquidity. But yeah, there's a lot going on here because we are at all-time highs. But we are basically anticipating an accumulation next. I don't really want to trade gold though. I'm going to stick away from that, to be honest with you. USD JPY, I'm going to get rid of that as well. Bitcoin. Bitcoin would have been a win. I didn't take this trade because we didn't get a candlestick pattern, but this was the trade we were looking at on, when was it? On Friday, I think. We were looking at this. It would have been a win, but very sloppy. And we've had our accumulation here, manipulation to the downside, distribution to the upside, expansion back to the accumulation. You'll notice that we do kind of have these like cycles pretty much all on the same on a few pairs at the same time. Like on GJ, we were trading the expansion reversal. On Bitcoin, you could have traded the expansion / reversal. Let's see what GJ is doing. GJ is pushing up nicely. So I'm probably like just over another % in profit here. Yeah, 620 floating. Plus 3.5, pushing up quite nicely. If we disrespect, if you want to get in for an entry, guys, what you could do is if we disrespect this fair value gap here, this bearish one here, on the 1 hour, I don't know, this is the 4 hour one, isn't it? Yeah. So if we disrespect this 1 hour fair value gap here in the next 10 minutes, if we close outside of it, you could wait for a retracement back to it, and then look to maybe trade like back up to here, looking to manage at this area, and you know, taking profit up there. So that's what you could do if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that though. I'm letting mine run. I'm not getting in anything else. But you could do that if you wanted to, and that would make total sense. The only thing that really goes against this now is we've had this bullish move. We're back in the accumulation range. So we could anticipate an accumulation like around about here, maybe here, once we've taken out this liquidity. And that would make sense because that would be a liquidity sweep then, wouldn't it? It wouldn't really be a liquidity grab. So that would align. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But if you want to catch the rest of this move, that's how you could get in. Wait for price to disrespect the 1 hour. So you'd have to close outside the 1 hour on the hourly. Come back into it, form a candlestick pattern, and then trade the continuation. The only issue really is we don't have we're coming out of volume now. We've had the volume, and we've had the bullish move. So we are anticipating an accumulation next, to be honest with you. Just going to draw that out. So I hope that makes sense. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this. It's pretty much exactly what we forecast. It's probably why it's a bit mixed. This one. Yeah, it's too late. Well, it's too late to get in now. You could wait for another entry here, though, if you wanted to. I think if we take this look right, just a warning: if we take this liquidity, before we come back to this fair value gap, I wouldn't really take that. I wouldn't take that because I'd want to manage at the liquidity. I suppose actually no. Doesn't matter. I suppose if we do, like, thinking about how it would look if we come up and then come back down, we'd have liquidity up here anyway. Doesn't really matter. But obviously this is on the 1 hour candle, so it will take a few candles to come back to here to look nice. You know, like be like close outside, then maybe like just chill up here, then push back down. That's like what, 2 hours now, which then would be 5 o'clock, which, you know, would be slowly dying with the volume there. The volume would slowly be dying there, slowly be falling off, leading into Asian session there. Also, guys, if you're new here, well, not if you're new, in general, don't forget to like the stream, all the YouTube business. You know, like, subscribe if you're new here. And if you're not in the free Discord, make sure to check out the first link in the description. I do need to change the description because it says it's a free course. That's exclusive to the Discord. So if you want to join the free course, what you will have to do is go into the free Discord server, then join the free course from there. But if you're new here, don't forget to join the free Discord, and like the stream up and that, guys. Yes, that new one. The new one. I think if this 1 hour closes outside of it, then yes. Yes, what we like to hear. Happy you can see it. But I'm just happy to help, to be honest. Alright, so 4 minutes left. If this candle closes outside, then we have a bullish confluence here to come back to in a later date. So if we come back to it, maybe on the 15 even, look for a candlestick pattern, then you can take your buy entry there if you really want to catch this trade with me. But as I said, my reason for entry is now invalid. So like my entry confluences are now kind of invalid. That's why I closed half here. So it's like I don't have full confidence that we'll come up to here in this move. We might. I think this fair value gap up here is more like it. I might even close another half there. No worries. We'll see how this candle closes, and then we'll see what we can do from there. I'm nice in profits now. Just touching 700 GBP. I think if we do eventually push up to here, I probably will close another half, because I think by the time we get to here, that will be what I'll probably be on about $1,000 floating. So then close half. That'll give me a nice 1%. Two and a half minutes left. No real news for the rest of the day. We've got FOMC speeches, and if you really, really, really want to, track this yellow folder FOMC speech, or in general, if you want to track any future speech, what you want to do is, because Forex Factory doesn't really tell you anything about the speech, you can discuss it in these forums and stuff if you really want to. But the way I like to do it is, where's my mouse gone? There you go. Is go to financialjuice.com. And basically, this gives you important updates of speeches and stuff like that. So, if you see speeches, and especially with the is it minutes, I think, or FOM, just Jay Powell speeches in general that are red folder. When you want to track those, see what he's saying, see what's going on, the best place to go is financialjuice.com. And it basically just says, like, see, Fed rate cuts are still likely to be modest overall. You wouldn't have learned that if you just used Forex Factory. So Financial Juice is there for your speeches if you want to track those, if you really, really want to. I won't be. It's yellow folder. It's pretty pointless, but yeah, minute and a half. Yeah, just over 700p now. Gonna get rid of this yellow box just to keep things clean. You'll notice one thing about me. I really like having clean charts. I think when you get overwhelmed, when you have loads of things going on, like you have order blocks from like 4 years ago, still valid and stuff like that, it really starts to overwhelm me. And it really does affect my trading. I like to have clean charts, clean price action, clean analysis. 30 seconds left. See how all of that AMD was just a retracement on the 4 hour? That's how you want to align it. Like the bias was bullish, everything. I suppose that was another confluence as well, I guess. I completely forgot about the bias. It's 3 o'clock now. We've closed outside, so we have got a bullish invert fair value gap here, which means we've got a nice bullish confluence to come back to at a later date. So yeah, if you really want to take an entry, these are the things you've got to wait for. Price to come back to inverse fair value gap. There you are. Can't see me keyboard. Right. Come back to inverse fair value gap. Candlestick pattern. What else? Candlestick pattern. Come back to inverse fair value gap and respect it. Oh. I can't. And respect it. I think that's pretty much it. You can take entry from there. Once you do those two things, you can take your entry. Obviously, if we come up here and then come back down, which is really unlikely, but if that happens, or we come into this fair value gap and then come down to this, it's not really as strong as a bullish. It's not really as strong a bullish confluence as it would be if we just came back down to it now. It really does look like we're pushing straight up. Oh geez, I'm up nice now. I'm 820. See if we come to this fair value gap. When we come to this fair value gap, I'm probably going to close another half. Tell you what, might as well just close the half here. You know, not really going to do much just by touching this grey box. You know what I mean? Not really going to be much more profits. So I'm going to close another half now. So I've got 2.5 lots with 400 prof here. I've made 900 so far off this trade. This has been a nice trade, you know. Nice, clean move. A lovely start to Monday. I mean, a lovely start to the week. But I think I'm just going to leave, like, you know, if you want to catch this trade, these are the two things you got to look for. Note that down, wait for it to happen, then take it. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's either going to be this or a consolidation. They're the two things that are due. Or that could be due. Sorry, one of them is due. So yeah, that's it. I've got nothing else to share. You know, I've shown you the fundamentals. I've shown you my analysis. I've shown you my entry, my exits, my plan, my management, blah 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 blah. I've shown you what you need to look for if you want to get into this move as well. I'm showing you what to look out for to stay out of and avoid a loss. So, you know, I've got nothing else to share. I've done my job. I'm happy to answer any questions. If anyone wants to ask me any questions, just send us a DM on Instagram, on Discord, or just tag us in the chats, whatever. That's pretty much it, guys. I've got nothing else to share. Bitcoin, again, same thing as GJ, just waiting for that accumulation. GJ, we're in this nice trade, secured 900 profits, floating in 400 currently. I'm going to let it run. I'm probably going to move should have moved my stop loss. Let's say we came back down to here. What would price look like? there is this fair value gap that we've completely inverted here. So I am going to leave my stop loss here because we could come back down to this fair value gap and still continue up bullish. Sound. But that's it. No problem, mate. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in. Have a lovely rest of your day. I hope if you take any trades, I hope they go well. All that lovely stuff. Make sure to share some analysis. Make sure you like the stream, guys. Subscribe. All that stuff. If you're new here, if you're not in the free Discord yet, make sure you join the free Discord. The first link in the description where we share all our analysis. There's premium members and just members in general who share their analysis and help everyone out, which is amazing to see. So make sure you join the free Discord server. I will see you guys in there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the same stream, same time, same place.